Welcome to Channel Japan. I'm Makia Rai.
And I'm Makiko Tsuda.
Every week we bring you the freshest information out of Japan right here from the studio in Tokyo.
From the economy to culture and even foods, if you want to find out what's happening in Japan right now, this is where you'll find it.
And these are our topics for today. As always, we have some interesting stories to share with you, so make sure you stay with us. So let's get started. First up is Executive Insight. So Tsuda-san, what's the topic today?
Yes. Now, first of all, if you can take a look over here, these are parts of something. Do you know what they are?
Well, this tiny little thing. I haven't seen it before and I'm not quite sure what it is. What is it for?
It's called a ball bearing.
Ball bearings. So it's what's used to make things rotate.
Yes, you're right. Now, ball bearings are actually found in a surprising number of products that we use every day. And if you can take a look over here, the bear of bearing in English literally means to support or to endure. And the Japanese word for bearing has a similar meaning of sustaining the rotation of the axis. So ball bearings have an outer and inner wheel, and in between there are numerous steel or ceramic balls.
Can you show me examples?
Yes, one example is a copy machine. Small ball bearings are used to help the paper roller turn, and it's said that there are 100 to 200 ball bearings in one single device.
That many. Well, I hate to imagine the problems we would have if there weren't any ball bearings.
Yes, but we have a diagram over here that shows what can happen if you didn't have ball bearings. Attaching the rotation axis directly to the base without using ball bearings not only increases friction but also generates heat, which causes problems such as burn. And this could result in the dislocation of the axis, meaning improper positioning of the paper or the ink. And those problems can be minimized by inserting ball bearings in between. And what's more, by reducing friction, it's possible to save on power as well.
Well, even if we don't usually see ball bearings, it's clear that they're indispensable for machinery and devices to run stably and effectively.
Yes, that's right. Now, this time we interviewed Yoshihisa Kainuma, the president of top Japanese bearing maker Minebeya. So take a look.
Executive Insight. Ball bearings are manufactured using ultra-precision technology. They can be found in virtually every mechanical device. Boasting the top global market share in precision processed products and ball bearings is Minebeya. Its predecessor was a company founded in 1951 called Nippon Miniature Bearing that specialized in the production of small ball bearings. Originally a small workshop with just 10 employees, it has grown into a massive corporation with 55,000 employees in 18 countries, mainly in the Asian region. The current president, Yoshihisa Kainuma, speaks with us about the company's strategy.
I understand Minebeya's core business is ball bearings, which are found in various products with rotating parts, such as cars. Your specialty is small ball bearings. What kinds of products are they used in? Bank terminals, motors for various vehicles and electronics, air conditioners, vacuum cleaners, and automatic ticket gates at train stations and airports also contain many ball bearings. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say demand has been growing in response to the development of civilization on the planet.
Ball bearings are components that allow an axis to rotate accurately and smoothly. For example, this yo-yo for children. When opened up, there's one inside. And this drill used by dentists. It contains a ball bearing made by the company. Any device with rotating parts will almost always have ball bearings.
こはちょうどボールベアリングの展示をしています
This is where we display our ball
ボールベア
bearings.
リングと言いましてもですね、この大きさですね
We make products with an outer diameter of up to 22 millimeters.
この大きさが22ミリ
We have about a 60% global market share in ball bearings of these sizes.
まあこれが主力
And this is your primary
それ
product.
でこの拡大
If you look through the magnifying glass, you'll see our smallest ball
ベ
bearing.
アリングの中で
Inside, there are 6 balls and a retainer to keep them in
リ
place.
テーナーというボール保持機ですね、
はい
まあ、これも全部入ってるわけですね、
この大きさは
Now, how big is this?
これは外
It has an outer diameter of 1.5 millimeters.
1.5ミリでございます
The company's technical capabilities are exemplified in this tiny ball bearing with an outer diameter of 1.5 millimeters. It is an ultra-precision component small enough to fit on top of a rice grain. Minebea not only makes small ball bearings, but has also been actively developing large-scale products used in airplanes and railroad cars. Their components have been certified by major aircraft manufacturers in Europe, North America, and Japan. For example, a single Airbus A380 uses about 850 ball bearings made by the company.
これロッドエンドスペリカル
These are called rod end and spherical bearings.
この中がこの滑り
There's something called a sliding bearing inside.
ですから複雑な機構
It's used in places with complex structures or movements.
使っております
Rod end and spherical bearings can be likened to human joints. They are used in the landing gear of airplanes and to help move the wing flaps and open and close the doors.
The aircraft industry is seeing extremely strong demand right now, and it's been said that current production levels will be maintained at least until 2020.
いうふうに言われておりますので、この辺も
So, going forward, we feel certain that this area will continue to contribute to our bottom line.
間違いありません。
It could be said that ball bearings offer a solid revenue base and is a growth market, but another big area is motors. You seem to be facing some difficulties in terms of profitability. What factors have helped you continue this business?
これは何なんでしょうか。
私どもが、
Our biggest focus has been on small precision motors.
どちらかというと小さい精密なモーターですね。従いましてモーター
The motor business and precision manufactured components business may appear entirely separate,
とも思いますけれども、私どもからします
but
と
from our perspective, the need for ultra precision manufactured parts is the same for motors.
ですから、
So, we believe there's a synergy between them. Many people have questioned why we continue our motor business when there's no profit. Of course, if it's not profitable over the long term, or if the profit potential is extremely low, we have no choice but to pull the plug.
これはやめざるを得ないと思います。しかしながら、
But there are many areas in which we haven't achieved our objectives. So if we can make improvements, we believe motors too will become a substantial profit generator.
事実
These past several months, we've carried out structural reforms. And over the past 4 years, we've taken various initiatives in our motor business. Those efforts are starting to bear fruit, and we believe the profitability of our motors has clearly improved.
The company's ultra-precision processing techniques for ball bearings have also been applied in the manufacture of high-performance motors. They have developed the world's smallest commercial stepping motor with an outer radius of 3.3 millimeters, widely used in electronic devices such as compact and lightweight digital cameras.
最近ですね、力
You
を
recently positioned hybrid components as a big area of focus. Why is
こ
that?
の複合製品を
And
手掛けていく
what's the aim?
狙い、これはいかがなんでしょう。
私ども非常に
We're seen as having an extremely unique lineup of products. For example, we make ball bearings and motors, but also develop backlights or measuring equipment at the same time. There aren't many companies like us. By combining one-of-a-kind technology developed by each of our divisions, we believe that we can generate a synergistic effect only we can. Over the past several years, we've made an extremely big effort in these hybrid components and products.
With the ball bearing business as the foundation, the company has developed various products. Their strategy is to increase the value of each product by integrating them and become more than just a component supplier. He takes us to a room where some of those products are on display.
Is this a mobile phone?
はい
This is an LCD backlight, a product we assembled. It's said that our backlight assembly is used in about 40% of smartphones shipped around the world this year. We've sharply increased production since last year, and we're extremely busy this year. This is a product that will undoubtedly contribute to our profitability.
This hard disk drive incorporates many of the company's technologies in the spindle motor to turn the disk and the pivot assembly.
For a long time, we've been competing on volume and price. But from now on, the key for us will be to market our technical capabilities and gain recognition. In that sense, what we're doing right now should attract the attention of our customers. We believe that effect will increase.
Although based in Japan, the company has aggressively expanded manufacturing operations overseas ahead of rivals. Currently, they own 36 plants abroad, with 92% of production carried out internationally.
これだけですねこのグローバルに
With operations this global, I imagine management has been difficult.
と思うんですが
What are the company's advantages?
にあるでしょう
We transfer all responsibility, meaning our offices in every country can basically do what they want. That's our style. We've given authority to quite a number of local non-Japanese managers. So, in that sense, you could say that our operations are extremely energetic.
On this day at headquarters, all the top executives of group companies are here to attend a meeting. They say entrusting decision-making to many local managers has speeded up business and increased profitability.
Today's meeting is we just purchased one German company called Cerobear, and we just wanted to be reported from the management what's a synergy of that company and what is the next step for the integration of that company into our group.
今後取締
Will management become even more internationalized in the future?
それはもう全然私ども言わ
We don't feel any resistance at all to that.
まあかえって
On the contrary, we'd like that to happen sooner.
まあいうふうに
We have absolutely no intention of having Japanese managers oversee everything.
必ずしも日本人が全てを取り仕切る
We'd like anyone who's capable to develop that ambition.
力のある方が
I want nothing more than for such people to eventually handle various areas of the
出
business.
ればまあこれに越したことはないなというふうに思います。
With products around the world becoming increasingly miniaturized, Minebea has its eyes fixed on the finer details.
So we've brought some of the products that Minebear is developing. And there
A
are
lot.
all sorts. Not all of them actually use ball bearings, but some are components used in helicopters and passenger planes. And you can see a keyboard over here.
Even a keyboard. So there's quite a wide range. It's so much more than what you would expect from a ball bearings company.
I agree, yes. And during our interview, Mr. Kainemer emphasized the importance of promoting and getting customers to recognize the company's technological capabilities. So these products were developed by applying their know-how that they cultivated in their ball bearings business.
I see. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what they're able to come up with next.
Sou uma pessoa comum. Eu gosto de apreciar todos os momentos do meu dia. Quanto isso pode me motivar? Como eu posso me manter focada? Tudo ao meu redor, incluindo os momentos do meu dia a dia, é o que eu preciso para me concentrar para a minha luta de 90 minutos. Quero dar esperança às pessoas. A better life, a better world.
Panasonic.
Trading card games transcend generations as well as borders. Trading card games will unite the world. However, the possibilities do not simply end there. Trading card games combine the different forms of entertainment, and fun will link the world as one. Bushiroad.
For Earth for Life, Kubota. One day has finished, and one new day has started on somewhere in the world. Kubota supports every moment somewhere out in the world. By the mechanization of agriculture, by the maintenance of water infrastructure, by the latest environmental engineering. We support a prosperous life for humans while protecting the environment of this beautiful Earth. Food, water, and the environment link the world. Kubota.
ยังจำได้หรือเปล่านะ เรื่องต่างๆที่เกิดขึ้นตอนวาดรูปนี้ แต่ถ้ารถยนต์ในฝันของฉันมีจริง ฉันคงจะมีความสุขมากเลย
Asia, the engine of the global economy. The pulse of the region at your fingertips with unique insights from Nikkei. With Nikkei Asian Review, stay up to date on the latest economic trends anywhere in the world. Read the future, lead the economy. Nikkei, Japan's leading media for business.
You're watching Channel Japan. Our next segment is Project Japan. So, Utsu-san, what's the topic this time?
Yes, today we'll be showing you a report on CTech Japan, which is an IT and electronics exhibition that's in its 14th year.
So I recall we introduced the event last year as one of the 3 big global electronics shows.
Yes.
So were you able to get a first-hand up?
Yes, I was. And what stood out this year was the collaboration between companies in different industries and different specializations. And we went to find out what Japanese companies are doing to promote their products and technologies to electronic makers and buyers from around the world. So take a look.
The Project Japan. This year, the CTech exhibition attracted 587 companies and organizations. The main theme was smart innovation. This is the booth of Toshiba. Their concept is to connect various electronics to a network to improve convenience. For example, this refrigerator has a function to send images of what's inside to a tablet or smartphone, helping users avoid buying unnecessary items. This is the booth of mobile phone operator NTT Docomo. Their vision of the future is a smartphone called Intelligent Glass.
I can see a picture.
By wearing these glasses, users can watch video content that appears semi-transparent. Using face recognition technology, pre-registered information on a person can also be automatically obtained.
So these glasses need to be used together with the mobile phone.
The glasses are a peripheral device of the mobile phone. Eventually, as we add more functions, you'll be able to use the glasses to do everything you do right now on a mobile phone.
This year, the biggest buzz generated at the exhibition was a high-definition imaging technology called 4K, which is said to have a resolution 4 times higher than what's currently being called full high definition. In fact, these 4K exhibits underline the strategy of Japanese electronics manufacturers. This is the president of Panasonic, Kazuhiro Tsuga. He admits that they were unsure of what to promote this year.
We didn't know if we should promote smart houses or 4K.
Until last year, they showed a wide variety of electronics. But this year, Mr. Tsuga focused entirely on 4K products. What's more, a closer look reveals 4K isn't being promoted simply as a television technology. This is a 4K tablet with a size bigger than models currently on the market. They plan to put it on sale in Japan from December and eventually in other countries. At their booth, they propose various situations in which the device can be used. This is for designers to check blueprints. Here for medical use. And even for the cosmetics industry. Stores can allow customers to see how they'll look after makeup is applied. With a high-resolution display, it's possible to simulate in detail the perfect amount of mascara to use. While many manufacturers outsource tablet production to contract factories overseas, they say keeping development to production in-house is a major advantage. The company's aim is to develop a new market for professional use 4K technology to replace their struggling TV business. They aren't the only ones exploring new avenues of growth. Mr. Tsuga walks over to the booth of Mitsubishi Electric.
Right now, we're focusing on getting orders from overseas. This is a communication satellite ordered by Turkey. We received 2 orders. Satellite projects are expected to increase in emerging markets, so we hope to expand our business in this field.
Mitsubishi Electric is also promoting its initiatives in new markets rather than consumer electronics. The opening day of CTEC offers a rare opportunity for the top officials of rival companies to meet face-to-face. At this booth, the presidents of Fujitsu and Sony are having a chat.
Have you settled on which areas to focus on? No, we're still working on it. the conditions are changing drastically. That's what it means to run a global business.
At the same time, one person is seen running around the venue. Akio Toyoda, chairman of the Japan Automobile Manufacturers Association. Mr. Toyoda, who is also president of Toyota, visits the booths of one rival after another. His aim is to promote the entire car industry. Four major automakers, Toyota, Nissan, Honda, and Mazda, are participating in CEATEC this year, reflecting the changing nature of electronics exhibitions themselves. So why have these car companies come here?
There are two reasons why people from the car industry have come to an electronics show like CEATEC. The first is because cars are now seen as running on IT as an information device or as a running battery. The second reason is that CEATEC is the first of three events that showcase Japan's primary industries of electronics and cars.
He says linking major industry events may open up new opportunities for the entire manufacturing industry in Japan.
I believe these events are an opportunity for Japanese companies to regain the confidence they've lost. Through each of these three events, we may be able to come up with a new vision.
Mr. Toyoda meets with numerous executives of electronics companies to scope out possibilities for further cooperation. At this booth, he checks out a lens-style camera used in combination with smartphones. Meanwhile, the car companies are proposing a new lifestyle that integrates electronics and vehicles.
A public discussion has just begun between Nissan and Google. Both companies are trying to develop an autonomous car.
Nissan held a discussion with Google, which is also working on an autonomous driving system.
The ability to have maps of what the world looking like.
The car maker indicated that it may provide its technology to other companies in the future. Honda's main exhibit was this Unicub, which Mr. Toyoda was seen riding earlier. We also tried it out. Tasks such as transporting objects were surprisingly easy.
It's my first time ever, but I was able to ride it.
Yes, that's the biggest characteristic of this vehicle. Riding a bicycle for the first time is difficult. A unicycle is almost impossible for the average person. With this, most people can learn how in 1 minute.
The vehicle has one big wheel with a unique system to control balance. Honda also envisions the rise of a new industry.
At the Tokyo Motor Show in November, we will have a joint exhibit with home builder Sekisui House and electronics maker Toshiba. You can look forward to seeing a vision of the future in which homes, electronics, and mobility transcend their boundaries.
At Toyota's booth, a single-seat electric vehicle, which is already in practical trials. They are proposing a new form of mobility not possible with motorbikes or cars.
The way it runs is awesome. Would you tell the tech department to commercialize it quickly?
The electronics and car industries are undergoing a massive transformation.
Now, this year's exhibition shows that the key lies in application. Companies aren't just here to show off their latest technologies, they've also brought in existing products and technologies, and by combining them, presenting a new way to use them with added value. Now, the borderlines between automakers, electronic makers and others are disappearing, and collaboration seems to be the way to stay competitive in the global market.
Mutsuda-san, it really does seem that electronics and cars are becoming increasingly interlinked.
Yes, I agree. And like we saw in the video, there's growing collaboration between CTEC and the ITS World Congress and also the upcoming Tokyo Motor Show. And so the various industries are involved in these events are also hoping that such initiatives will lead to new business opportunities.
Yes, so we'll certainly continue to follow these developments on Channel Japan.
Mitsubishi Electric is helping to change the environment for the better around the world.
Green subway systems in India.
Green solar power systems in Singapore.
Sistem AC ramah lingkungan di Indonesia.
Eco changes for a greener tomorrow. Mitsubishi Electric.
How do we build sustainability into our relationship with Mother Earth? That's Kaiteki, Mitsubishi Chemical Holdings.
The view is almost like peering down on the star-filled night sky at your feet. It's the city at night seen from a height of 450 meters. Make unforgettable memories. City lights stretching for as far as the eye can see. Find it at Tokyo Skytree.
Mitsui & Company.
Hey, look at this. They're building a huge steel plant with Kobelco technology.
Kobelco? Never heard of it.
It's Japanese. They can make iron with incredible speed. What once took 8 hours can be done in just 10 minutes.
Wow, the Japanese are incredible. The country of karate.
Ha! 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 Karate has nothing to do with it.
True. The talk of the world. Kobelco.
Sasuke, a new type of sports entertainment program conquering the world.
It's about human achievement and people's passions, and I think that relates to almost everybody.
From Japan to the world, Ninja Warrior, Tokyo Broadcasting System.
You're watching Channel Japan. In this segment, we bring you episodes from popular economics programs. Today, it's from TV Tokyo's World Business Satellite.
This condominium went on sale in the summer. On weekends, potential buyers arrive one after the other.
This is an existing condominium that's been given additional value.
Are second-hand prices better?
They're more reasonable.
This condo appears brand new, but is actually second-hand. A 27-year-old structure originally used to house employees of a major insurance company, it was acquired and renovated by a subsidiary of real estate developer Daikyo. This property was their first foray into the total renovation of a second-hand condominium.
This is our mock-up unit. It's 27 years old, but inside it's clean.
How big is this room?
About 33 square meters.
With a 33 square meter living and dining area, it has a layout similar to newer condos. When it was used as corporate housing, all 23 units had the same layout. So the developer knocked down the walls and rearranged the plumbing to create an entirely new floor plan.
The kitchen has the same equipment as a brand new condo.
They say the equipment is the same as that installed in Daikyo's newly built condos.
I can't tell that it's renovated. It's the same as new. And the price is attractive.
A 79 square meter unit is in the $280,000 range. The developer says the price is about 20% lower than new condos in the area. That's not all. The fourth floor is about $270,000, compared to $300,000 for the first floor, the opposite of a typical pricing scheme. The reason is because there's no elevator. Installing one would entail a heavy cost. That's why the stair-dependent higher floors are priced lower.
Originally, there wasn't even a proper entrance. If anyone can come in freely, security is a problem.
The latest security system at the entrance. And plants to spruce up the atmosphere. By renovating an entire condo, developers can add value to shared spaces, making it more marketable.
By renewing everything from private to common areas, the advantage is bigger than a typical second-hand transaction. In our sales, we got a strong impression of what customers demand. We believe the market for renovated condos will continue to grow.
Renovations are also giving birth to new business opportunities. This condominium is 42 years old. A certain technique developed by one company is being used here. When the work starts, the key to that method arrives. Wooden panels. Manufactured beforehand at the factory, wood doesn't need to be cut as often on site. They say construction times are drastically reduced as a result. The panels are used as the base of ceilings and walls. When 9 panels are actually installed on the ceilings and walls, the time needed is just 20 minutes. The work is quickly finished.
All we do is assemble parts that were made to specific calculations, so the speed is quite fast.
A patent application has been filed for this panel. It was developed by Intelex, a company specializing in renovations.
Construction quality will differ from site to site depending on the carpenter's skills, but not with this method.
Each panel is about 2 meters long, compact enough to fit inside an elevator of a condo.
Lots of companies can do superficial renovations, but there are few that can do highly precise work from the skeleton stage in a short period. That's the market we're targeting.
Working in sales at a subsidiary of Intelex is Shintaro Sugai.
こんにちは。お世話になります。よろしくお願いします。
He's arrived at the renovation department of a major developer.
We'd like you to consider a new construction method. The advantage is shorter construction times.
The construction period reduced by 15 days, which is quite significant. It's a very good material.
Renovations of second-hand condos can be time-consuming. Knocking down walls and creating a new layout is said to typically take 45 days. The developer expresses interest in the reduced construction time.
With second-hand condos, we wouldn't feel comfortable unless the company is knowledgeable and has experience. When we buy a property, we need to renovate 40 or 50 units at once. If there's a new technique, we want to incorporate it.
Such renovations at fully occupied condominiums can be problematic. Work on shared spaces requires a building's management committee to hold a meeting and obtain approval from half its members. At this investment condominium, opinions are split between 36 owners about how far to go in increasing the asset value through renovations.
Some owners think any work will mean the loss of money. It's difficult to get enough votes through the board meeting alone. The best way may be to hire a consultant.
The consultant they hired is Teruyuki Tsuchiya. He assisted in planning a renovation that increased the asset value of this 20-year-old condo. Through his recommendations, major repairs were carried out. In addition, wood grain panels were added to the inside of the original elevator. And the floors of the hallways were covered in a patterned film.
By giving it a treatment similar to a new building, I hope to improve the image even by a little bit.
He says to get owners to sign on, it's necessary to clarify the specific benefits of the renovation.
One-off expenses are seen as negative by investors. We need to allay their concerns about high vacancy rates and properly explain the long-term advantages.
Renovations bring out the best of new and old. Demand is expected to continue growing.
So, Utsuda-san, what do we have next?
Next, we'll be talking about bridges.
Bridges.
Arai-san, can you guess how many bridges there are in Japan?
Well, there are many rivers across the country, so I imagine the number is quite large.
Yes, you're right. I think there are, in fact, about 700,000 bridges, which are 2 meters or longer.
I think that's a pretty big number, considering the land area of Japan.
I agree, yes. But at the same time, many of them face problems, and I have a little chart over here. It shows the number of bridges based on when they were constructed.
Well, I noticed that quite a large number were built during the economic boom period.
Yes, right, around this period. And that is the main problem because as of 2012, 16% of bridges were constructed 50 or more years ago. And naturally, many of them need repairs, but the shortage of funds as well as engineers specialized in this type of work has led to widespread delays.
Well, the problem certainly needs to be addressed immediately since it directly affects human lives.
Yes, you're right. And what's even more worrying is that 40% of bridges will be 50 or more years old by 2022, and 10 years later it'll rise to 65%. So we have a report on what's being done to deal with these aging bridges. Have a look.
Konan Ward, Yokohama. Linking the station to the residential area, Kubo Bridge has become the main thoroughfare for local people. But underneath lies a certain problem.
The bridge beam, for example, has damaged sections like this.
In one section, the concrete has broken off. There are also places where the steel is exposed.
There's no immediate danger, but it's necessary to do repairs as quickly as possible.
This fiscal year, the city of Yokohama has set aside a budget of over $31 million for bridge maintenance. The reason?
We currently have 255 bridges that are 50 years old or more. Naturally, as they age, the damage worsens.
With Tokyo chosen to host the Olympic Games, one area slated for redevelopment has been the Metropolitan Expressway, of which 80% are bridges. Aging is a major issue. To be repaired are bridges built 50 or more years ago, which account for 16% of primary bridges. That number is forecast to exceed 60% in 20 years. To deal with the problem, local governments have been seeking advice from one research institute.
We've taken sections of bridges from northern to southern Japan to use in our studies.
The Public Works Research Institute uses actual bridges that have aged to develop diagnostic and repair methods. This is a section of a bridge constructed 66 years ago. Diagnosing the structural integrity of a bridge involves studying more than just the road surface and beams.
Concrete is especially hard, but it'll break when bent. That's why rebar or pre-stressed concrete steel is used to withstand pressure.
Reinforced steel strengthens bridges, but it can also be the cause of aging.
When inspecting a bridge, we see conditions like this. It looks clean, but there are fissures here. Hear the difference in sound? When cut, it looks like this. The steel is rusted. Rust makes it expand and push out the concrete. See?
Rusted steel expands and puts pressure on the surrounding concrete, destroying the structure from the inside. When inspecting bridges, it's necessary to ascertain the condition of the steel. But there is currently no method to do that without peeling away the concrete.
About the only thing we can figure out is where the steel is. Unfortunately, without breaking it, we don't know if it's rusted or retains the original thickness or the level of degradation.
Local governments that come to see Mr. Kimura have been asking him to develop a new inspection method. On this day, he visits a laboratory of the University of Tokyo. The Public Works Research Institute is working together with the university to develop a technique using X-rays. X-rays are beamed from the device on the right to inspect the wires inside the bridge beam. The board on the left records the data. It is similar to a method used in the medical field.
This is the result of the experiment. The slight vertical patterns are the 7mm steel wires.
The shadows at the top of the screen are the wires. They will test if the technique can be used outdoors in winter, with the aim of putting it into practical use in 2 years.
The strength of a bridge depends on the rebar and pre-stressed concrete steel inside. A full diagnosis is only possible with information such as where it is, how thin it's become, and whether it's been severed. We hope this will become our advantage.
How can aging bridges be repaired? New technologies are under development. This is an institute where expressway companies are jointly carrying out infrastructure research.
This carbon fiber is being used to lengthen the life of bridges.
A material used for the radar system of the Hayabusa satellite.
Mixed with a special resin, it's 3 times as strong as steel.
The plan is to use this material for the steel support of the bridges, the beam section. Rain and the elements can cause corrosion and sometimes form holes in the steel. Until now, corroded sections were cut out using heavy machinery and replaced. But with this carbon fiber, repairs are relatively simple. with the rust removed and the material attached. This August, it was already used to repair a bridge on the Chuo Expressway.
This method of simply applying carbon fiber is something that could be done by local contractors. We're hoping local governments can also take on the repair work.
Technologies are also being developed to lengthen the life of bridges. Under construction is a new bypass to connect Kobe and Nagoya, a bridge on the Shin-Meishin Expressway.
Those butterfly-shaped panels incorporate the latest technology. Our aim is to make them last over 100 years.
So, exactly what kind of technology do they use?
Are you okay with heights?
About 30 meters off the ground, construction is proceeding to complete the bridge in 3 years.
We're going inside.
Going down the stairs,
this is the inside.
A substantial space.
To reduce the weight as much as possible, most bridges have hollow spaces like this. The new material is inserted into these butterfly-shaped sections.
Developed with an expressway operator are panels called butterfly web.
A big characteristic is that there's no steel inside. Because they don't rust, they're extremely durable.
So what's inside? We visited the manufacturer.
This is the facility to make those butterfly webs. They don't contain any reinforced steel, only piano wires pulled tight.
Typically, the formwork has vertical and horizontal steel bars for reinforcement before the concrete is poured in. But butterfly webs have only several wires and use almost no steel. Are they strong enough?
This is strong enough to dangle 20 cars on it.
The wires are pulled across by a force of 18 tons. Cut after the concrete hardens, they try to shrink, increasing the structure's strength. The concrete itself is also modified. Up close, tiny fibers are seen inside. By mixing in metal fibers also found inside tires, the strength doubles.
With the fibers, the strength is higher than normal, but it's also very durable. As a result, the material can be made thin and reduce the weight and cost of the entire bridge.
With this technique, the weight of the bridge on the Shin-Tomei Expressway was reduced 10% and the cost cut by $1 million. There's another technique that completely does away with steel. In fact, development was completed in September. We were given special permission to take a look.
This is a new structure that will allow a bridge to last almost forever. Called aramid fiber, it looks like steel and is extremely thin. It's formed by hardening a resin.
The fiber is used in bulletproof vests and contains no steel, making it a non-corrosive material. They've succeeded in capping costs at 30% above conventional materials and are rushing to commercialize the technique.
We've tried various ways to keep steel from rusting. The removal of the aging factor means this could become a revolutionary material.
How to put the brakes on the aging of bridges? The government will need to reach across and tap into the vast knowledge of the private sector.
So it is clear that dealing with these aging bridges is an urgent issue.
It certainly is. And like we saw in the video, compared to the conventional method of welding steel plates to repair bridges, using carbon fiber is less complex and can lengthen the life of a bridge by 30 to 50 years. So it's really attracting a lot of interest.
And it would seem less time-consuming and costly than building a bridge from scratch.
Exactly, that's the other key point, because they say it's possible to lower annual maintenance costs and repair costs for one bridge by over 70%. 20%. And that's really significant, especially considering the cost can reach several tens of thousands of dollars a year for a single bridge. And the developers say they hope to market this method to fast-growing countries in the Asian region.
Well, considering the cost savings and effectiveness, I imagine we may be seeing greater adoption of this technique around the world. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Channel Japan. We have much more in store for you, so join us again next week.
Together, let's generate happiness. Let's raise the world to new heights. Let's carry our dreams further. At the heart of society, Toshiba Technology. For a growing future, Toshiba. Together, let's create better healthcare. Let's develop a sustainable environment. Let's give children a promising tomorrow. At the heart of society, Toshiba Technology. For a growing future, Toshiba.
As the future evolves, Toyota is envisioning a more interconnected life where information and energy flow seamlessly throughout the globe. The road ahead will require diverse and eco-friendly mobility solutions. It is on this path that our small choices lead to big changes. Life. Connected. Toyota.
Traditional.
Consistent.
Precise.
Speedy.
Professional. Innovative.
Polite. Quality from Japan. The best of business in Asia. SMBC. Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation.
Asia, the engine of the global economy. Japan, a regional powerhouse. And now, direct from Japan, economic news with a global impact in Chinese, delivered by Nikkei. Read the future, lead the economy. Nikkei, Japan's leading media for business.
Channel Japan. Your source for the voices and views of people and businesses across Japan. The latest reports on Japanese companies, culture, and technology. Find out what's happening on the ground. Every week, direct from Tokyo, Channel Japan.